No matter where you've lived, Bellingham, Washington, located here in the great Pacific Northwest, is the best kept secret in the land. And you know, people that live here, they're gonna be mad that I'm letting you know how amazing it is here. Now today we're in the South Hill neighborhood here in Bellingham, and I'm gonna take a deep dive with you and tell you why this is one of the most sought after neighborhoods in all of the area. I'm gonna tell you the pros and the cons about living in South Hill. And by the way, my name is Tim Cornwell, and I've lived here all my life. I've been in real estate for the last 15 years. I look forward to sharing my experience with you about everything Bellingham and beyond. Okay, so South Hill neighborhood. Where are we? Where is it located? So we are just up the hill from Fairhaven Village, and we are just south of Bellingham. We are adjacent to Western Washington University at the top of the hill, and then down at the base of South Hill is Bellingham Bay. And what makes this neighborhood so unique is the highly residential nature of the neighborhood. There's only 2 retail businesses in the entire neighborhood, and there's 1 elementary school. And why is that? How did we get here? So Bellingham was founded in 1903, and it was founded on industries in the area like fishing and logging and lumber mills and mining. There's actually like coal mining and things like that that happened here. And so everybody that came to this area to work, they had to live somewhere. So South Hill is a great place to live. It's close to all the work down in the bay and some incredible views as well. So what you'll see is a lot of these houses were built in the late 1800s and then all throughout the 1900s. At the top of the hill are the bigger lots and the bigger houses. And as you move down the hill, you get into smaller houses, smaller lots. Then down at the waterfront, a lot of condo projects got built in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and into today. The neighborhood is highly walkable. So most of the streets are just 2-lane streets. You've got sidewalks on both sides. People love to walk their dogs, go for a little run, you know, take their kids to school. It is just ideal for that. And then the views everywhere, everywhere you look, you've got these incredible views of Bellingham Bay. So it's an incredible place to go walking, and people that live here love that. And the great thing about the highly residential nature is that everybody that you encounter they probably live in the neighborhood. They are your neighbor. So the sense of community here is incredible. Any of the traffic that drives through here, again, that's going to be someone that lives in the neighborhood. You don't get a lot of cross traffic because this is where everybody lives. There's not an AM PM on the corner that everyone's going to. Now, there are 2 arterials. Right at the top of South Hill is the Highland Drive, and that runs north and south. And down at the base is another north and south arterial called, well, it's Boulevard, it's State Street, and it's 11th Street as it runs along the waterfront. Here in the South Hill neighborhood, we're at the top of the neighborhood on Highland Drive, and this is an arterial. This is a road that has a lot of traffic, and of course, while I'm here talking to you, not a single car is going to come by. But anyway, Highland Drive, that's what it looks like. If you look up this way, that going north will take you to Western Washington University. And if you look south, it'll take you into Fairhaven. Highland Drive. Speaking of getting around town, if you do need to get into Fairhaven Village, you can walk down there. It's probably a 2 to 3 minute drive to get down to that area. Now, Fairhaven Village is a super cool place with a bunch of shops, restaurants, breweries. The Alaska State Ferry is down there. There's a bus station down there. There's a train station down there, Amtrak's train station. It's just a great place to go hang out in Fairhaven Village, super close by. You get up to Bellingham, you can walk into Bellingham. There is a trail that runs from the base of South Hill up into Bellingham. It's probably a little bit further to walk, but again, about a 5-minute drive to get into downtown Bellingham. Now, if you needed to get out to Costco to do some shopping, something like that, the airport, that's going to be about a 15-minute drive. And there is a main interstate that runs through Bellingham. It's called Interstate 5. To get out to Interstate 5 from right here, you're probably talking about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on traffic. And then you can just drive through town to get out to Costco as well, just taking city streets. And really, depending on the time of day, will dictate, right now, you know, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I could just get out on the freeway, run up to Costco. That'll be quick and easy. But if it's around 5 o'clock, it gets a little clogged out on I-5, and sometimes the city streets are a better option. So that's Costco. Okay, the other thing I forgot to mention about South Hill is that it's almost like stadium style seating. The houses are built on the down the hill so that you get a look over the top of the hill in front of you. So almost every home on this hill has incredible views. And my favorite kind of view is a west facing view, because a west facing view gives you sunsets. And there's nothing better than sunsets, in my opinion, when you're looking over Bellingham Bay, you're looking at the San Juan Islands. Way in the distance is Vancouver Island in Canada. So it is spectacular. Like I said, any time of year you get clear skies, everyone is enjoying the sunset. The other cool thing about a west facing view is it's a little chilly here in the Pacific Northwest at different times of the year, and it is really nice to get that afternoon and evening sun shining right on your house, right on your back deck to keep you warmed up. So that just makes this place so sought after, because where can you get like stadium seating in a neighborhood with all these character homes, Victorian and craftsman, and I'm looking at all these houses like nothing looks alike. I love how unique this is and how special this place is. I'm looking at the sunset, I'm looking at my water view, and I can walk down to Fairhaven. The other thing you can do is walk to parks. I didn't mention the parks yet. They're basically 3 parks. Okay, I'm in one of 3 parks here in the South Hill neighborhood, and this is Lowell Park. It's at the top of South Hill. It's off of Highland Drive. If you use your navigation, you will get here. There's really not a ton of parking, and there's just 2 trails. I think there might be 2 or 3 trails that run through the park, but it is super cool. And we have a beautiful day today. It's in January and the sun's out, everybody's out hiking, but not many people here at Lowell Park. Wow, talk about peaceful. So this is Lowell Park. There's 2 other parks in the neighborhood. The other one is Boulevard Park, and it is probably the most visible and popular park that you will see. And then the other one is called Salish Landing, and it is a park that is currently being developed. So that's 17 acres over there at Salish Landing. So this has just been a great walk. Be sure to come and check out Lowell Park when you come to Bellingham. So ground zero of the South Hill neighborhood is Lowell Elementary. It was built in 1914, and it was built as an elementary school, and it still functions today. Obviously, they've done updates over the years. There's about 300 students that go there. And the great part of it is, wherever you live in South Hill, your kids are going to be able to walk to school. So it's a fabulous place. Love the location. So nice to have young kids in the neighborhood going to the same school together. Okay, this is one of 2 retail locations in the entire South Hill neighborhood. This is called the Woods Coffee, and this used to be an old art studio. I think they had a kiln in here, and they did pottery and things like that. It was the city of Bellingham's building, and they worked a deal to have this coffee shop come in, and it is one of the best places to come and get a beverage and enjoy everything that Bellingham Bay has to offer. The boardwalk, the interurban trail, the entire Boulevard Park area with the playground, grassy area, amphitheater. It's a great place to just bring your kids, bring your dog, and have a great time. So definitely got to come check out Boulevard Park when you're in town. This is the life, right? Bellingham Bay, Woods Coffee, beautiful sunshine, fresh air. You could live here too, you know. Again, you cannot beat Boulevard Park. I mean, dog walking, running, rollerblading, water sports, kayaking, bring the kids, play on the playground, throw the frisbee, play bocce ball. I mean, the options are endless. And as you can see behind me, this is what Bellinghamsters do on a sunny day in January. They come down to Boulevard Park and make the most of their day. Now, across the bay, that's Bellingham. And that's how close we are to downtown Bellingham. And so there is a trail, an urban trail that takes us all the way there. This is also a great place to watch fireworks. So 4th of July, We have a big fireworks display over Bellingham Bay. Man, if you can get a place at Boulevard Park, consider yourself fortunate, because that is a front row seat. So any time of year, you cannot beat this park. And can you imagine living in the South Hill neighborhood, being able to walk down here anytime you want, enjoy a sunset, enjoy a morning run? This is Bellingham living at its best. And this is why it's the best kept secret in the land. I'm at the southern end of Boulevard Park, and then the interurban trail starts right here, takes you all the way into Bellingham. But behind me is that new location, is the location for the Salish Landing Park, yet to be developed, but that's 17 acres. And so if you think Boulevard Park is awesome, just wait until Salish Landing is completed. So right behind me also is the Port of Bellingham. You see a couple cranes there. We don't actually unload cargo ships here. That's actually some cranes that came up from Port of Tacoma, but they do disassemble big equipment like that, and they'll do other things on that staging area. But Bellingham, you know, it's got some commerce, it's got some industry, and I think it's up and coming. I think we're going to see more and more high wage jobs coming to this area. So it's exciting to see things like this happen. So yeah, if you get to Boulevard Park, just keep going and you'll find the trail all the way to Bellingham. Okay, depending on who you are, this could be one of the cons of South Hill, and that is the railroad. So the railroad runs right below the bottom of the neighborhood, and these trains come 365, 24/7. The good news is they did have a new ordinance passed that creates quiet crossings. And a quiet crossing means that the train does not blow its whistle as it goes through, but you still have the bells and the lights going off and the gate closing. But it is quieter, but you know, trains by nature aren't quiet. So if you have a problem with trains running close to where you live, you're going to want to live either higher up on South Hill or a different neighborhood altogether. But trains are part of the Bellingham vibe and culture. It's just who we are. And I love them personally, but some people hate them. So you decide, but it's a thing. Okay, here we are, the interurban trail. And the interurban trail runs right alongside the railroad tracks, the current railroad tracks, because this trail used to be railroad tracks. So back in the day, Bellingham, fishing, mining, logging, lumber, a lot of the goods were moved by rail car. And this was a main railway line coming in and out of Bellingham into Fairhaven. And now it's this awesome trail system. So this trail will, from Boulevard Park, will take you all the way into Bellingham. It'll take you into the farmer's market, and it is 1.5 miles from Boulevard to the farmer's market. Now, if you're in the South Hill neighborhood, you live up here, and you go, I want to get down to the interurban trail, but I don't want to have to go all the way to Boulevard Park. No problem, because there are multiple off-ramps that take you back up to State Street, and that's really convenient. So there's multiple places you can get on and off of the interurban trail, just part of Bellingham being awesome. Okay, so you think about waterfront, you think Bellingham Bay, you think, oh man, the beaches, the sand, the surf, the waves. Well, this is the Pacific Northwest, so we do have a few nice little sandy beaches, but generally speaking, you're going to have more of a rocky setup like this. We don't really have surfable waves. We do have windsurfable waves though, but this is the basic normal setup. You get a little bit of wind, you're going to get some breakers, but this is a classic Bellingham waterfront, beachfront situation. This is actually called Chuckanut sandstone. It's a very prevalent type of rock that we have in our area. So there you have it, Bellingham waterfront. It's not Cabo, but it could be worse. It's not Nebraska. Behind me, you can see that we have Condo Row here at the base of South Hill. So all these condos are looking out onto Bellingham Bay. They're looking over Boulevard Park, and you have a real variety of age of building, from newer construction to some of the older buildings were built back in the 50s, and a range of prices as well. So you can get a studio condo overlooking Bellingham Bay. You could get one as low as 500,000, or you could pay close to 2 million. A lot of different options, but you can't beat the front row seat of Bellingham Bay. We're now here at Boulevard Park, one of the most sought after destinations here in Bellingham. Behind me, you can see the boardwalk that connects Fairhaven down to Boulevard Park. And of course, the star attraction, Bellingham Bay. It's an absolutely beautiful day here. This is January, and typically we don't have this kind of weather, so we will take it. We will make the most of it on a day like today. So the boardwalk, like I said, connects from Boulevard Park down to Fairhaven. Actually, it ends up being a trail once you get down to Taylor Dock and takes you the rest of the way in Fairhaven. But going the other way, going north, it actually ends up taking you all the way to Bellingham. So incredible day to go for a walk, a run, drink your coffee, just enjoy everything Bellingham has to offer. Okay, we are at the end of the boardwalk, and this is called the Taylor Dock. And behind me is the ramp that goes up back up to the main road, and then Taylor Street, which goes all the way to the top of the South Hill neighborhood, and then takes you over to the Taylor Stairs. And as you can see, there is the Chrysalis Hotel and Spa. And what's really cool is they have these little benches that people can sit at while they're enjoying the views. So again, great place for a walk, great place for a bike, great place to relax and just enjoy everything the Pacific Northwest has to offer. I'm up on 15th Street here in the South Hill neighborhood, and we are far enough away from the base of the hill that it's quiet up here. This is really nice. Down there at the bottom, it's 11th Street, so we're only like four blocks up, but it's really quiet up here. And the house behind me, I wanted to share with you some market information about the house behind me so you get an idea of what costs are here, what prices are. So it's a little over 2,300 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, and it's on a good sized lot. It's got a detached garage and an alley. This went on the market for $995,000 and sold immediately, actually multiple offer situation, sold for $1.2 million. So that does happen when you get a high demand property. It's got incredible views, good square footage. And then one added bonus to this one is the expandability on this lot. So the state of Washington a couple years ago passed some new laws because the state said we are in a housing crisis, which means we don't have enough housing for the expected growth in our area. So what they've done is they've said, we will allow you to put additional dwelling units on a single family lot. Those are called ADUs, accessory dwelling unit. It can be attached to the home like a converted basement into an apartment, or it can be a detached ADU, DADU, where you have like a cottage or a tiny home. So theoretically, the way this house was marketed is that they said you could put 2 detached ADUs on the property just on this side of the house. Okay, this house I want to show you is on the higher end of the spectrum. This house is newer construction, so I'm assuming there was probably an old house here that got torn down. It was built in 2015, and it's 3,100 square feet. The other thing is it has a accessory dwelling unit down in the basement. So it has a separate kitchen, separate living, its own entrance, and actually a separate deck with both overlooking Bellingham Bay. And this one went quick. So this was listed at 165, sold in one day for 172. So again, some of the properties will sit on the market. I'll see listings sitting on South Hill for a long time because the price has to be congruent with the product, but then the product has to be congruent with the price. And so what happens is if you overprice your listing, it is not going to sell, even if you're on South Hill with Bellingham Bay views. You have to price it correctly. And so I'm looking for my buyers, and when I see a house come on the market that is priced right, that is that cream puff, we've got to move quick. So that's why I really encourage buyers to be ready to go. You got to be here, look at the area, know what you like, have your financing in order or your cash ready to go. And then we write very competitive offers so that you can get one of these great houses when they come on the market. So when you see a rare bird like this, you've got to take immediate aggressive action to get the house of your dreams. I love this house. It's a beautiful house. You don't see a lot of the houses in South Hill with the garages right off the main street. So again, there are no two houses alike here in South Hill. Here's another example. I hope I gave you some good information about the South Hill neighborhood and you learned more about Bellingham. And if you would like to know more information, my contact information is below if you're thinking about making a move now or in the future. We'd love to talk to you and connect. And be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notifications button for more information like this. I'm Tim Cornwell, and stay tuned for more information about Bellingham and beyond.